This is how AMC's The Walking Dead series finale shakes out after more than a decade of brutal deaths, zombie action, and post-apocalyptic drama. Although the zombie apocalypse promises to rest in peace, the series finale of The Walking Dead demonstrates that neither peace nor rest has been achieved. The Commonwealth arc from The Walking Dead Season 11 is largely resolved in the final episode, with Daryl Dixon joining Mercer and the rest of their friends in liberating the neighborhood from Pamela Milton's filthy grasps. The final few minutes of The Walking Dead then shift to more important topics, establishing the foundation for AMC's upcoming spin-offs, pairing up protagonists, revealing significant cameos, and much more. In addition to bringing stories to a close, the eagerly anticipated The Walking Dead series finale also opens the door to a number of brand new ones. In addition to setting up Daryl Dixon, The Walking Dead, Dead City, and the Rick Grimes and Michonne spin-offs, Rest in Peace, also makes significant mythology shifts that will unavoidably have profound effects on all three projects. Even though The Walking Dead is over, Rest in Peace ends up being a little misleading by the time the credits start to roll. This is how The Walking Dead comes to an end and how The Walking Dead resumes. The specifics of Pamela Milton's defeat, such as how the heroes infiltrated Pamela's grounds, are left a little unclear due to the final battle's quick pacing in The Walking Dead. Through Mercer's remaining power among the armored Commonwealth soldiers, The Walking Dead's assembled heroes are covertly led into the estates, a wealthy, gated neighborhood where Pamela and her inner circle have sought refuge, killing the remaining thousands of Commonwealth citizens. As a result, Tommy is able to save Judith, and Mercer can start the mutiny from within. The speech given by Daryl Dixon, which was originally given by Rick Grimes in the first volume of The Walking Dead comics, is what really shifts the tide. Daryl persuades both sides to put down their weapons by quoting Rick's catchphrase, "We are not the Walking Dead," which implies that life offers hope for the future and that the dead should be the only threat to the living. When Pamela Milton loses the support of the military, the conflict is essentially over. Gabriel then makes a touching return to his past, bringing forgiveness to the people he abandoned outside his old church and illuminating his enormous character development by opening the estate's gates and allowing fleeing residents refuge. The Commonwealth's zombie herd continues to pose the only immediate threat in the series finale of The Walking Dead, with Pamela Milton's official cancellation. The survivors force a truck through the horde to collect gas from a fuel depot, which they place underneath the estates and ignite after luring the zombies there using music, a nice homage to the fallen Luke, who used the same strategy against Whisperers in The Walking Dead Season 10. Variants are impossible to shepherd like regular zombies. Naturally, in figurative terms, blowing up the estates represents a shift in the social order of the Commonwealth, where the wealthy will no longer exploit the common people. Negan initially desires to murder Pamela personally in order to advance the interests of the group. Although undoubtedly similar, Negan's motivation here is different compared to when he killed Alpha. Silencing the Chief Whisperer was Negan's vain attempt to win acceptance in Alexandria, but by shooting Pamela, Negan intends to draw the ensuing heat away from Maggie and the others. Echoing The Walking Dead Season 11's Outpost 22 incident, Negan is once again willing to die in the name of protecting the people he once terrorized. Maggie refuses to let Negan go alone, and two unique factors are at play here. While Maggie is coming to terms with Negan's transformation, Lauren Cohan's character is probably trying to prevent Negan and Annie's son from growing up without a father in a similar way to how her own son did without Glenn. The decision to kill Pamela is ultimately irrelevant. Despite having a clear shot, Maggie and Negan choose to back down when the tide turns in Mercer's favor, contradicting Negan's earlier assertion that Pamela would always be problematic if she was still breathing. Almost certainly Negan's own fall from grace served as inspiration for this choice. Negan is subtly acknowledging that being forced to live with his crimes was a harsher punishment than if Rick Grimes had killed him by saying to Maggie, "Hell, a person like that, it's a fate worse than death." These words hold Maggie back and help to explain why, when Pamela tries to kill herself, she shoots Lance Hornsby in the chest. Pamela's attempt to be devoured by the dead body of her former assistant is a moment of symbolic reflection on her son's death by the hand of a man she had denigrated for so long. The Walking Dead's final episode is surprisingly without blood and features few deaths. No one is surprised when Jules dies almost right away, and Luke soon follows after his leg is amputated and cannot protect him from a bite. But Christian Serrato's Rosita is unquestionably the biggest casualty in a largely lifeless The Walking Dead series finale. The bite occurs as Rosita, Gabriel, and Eugene flee from the Commonwealth's children's home after rescuing Coco and the remaining children. Since the injury occurs off-screen, The Walking Dead leaves the details of Rosita's death somewhat unclear. Rosita puts up an epic fight back, but after falling from a remarkably robust pipe and being surrounded by undead, she gets a chomp on her back. She conceals this sinister information, perhaps to prevent the group from becoming distracted before the Commonwealth takeover is complete, but also to spend some last priceless moments with her daughter and their found family. The entire scene is based on Robert Kirkman's The Walking Dead comic books, where Andrea's death was adapted. Andrea not only got bitten while fending off the zombies surrounding her, but she impressively managed to conceal the wound just long enough to achieve her purpose and get back with her family. The biggest gut punch in The Walking Dead series finale is probably delivered by Rosita's final discussions with Eugene. When Rosita reveals that she would soon die, both characters say "I love you." The intent is strictly platonic here, not a last-minute declaration of love feelings for the purpose of clarity. Rosita says, "I'm pleased it was you at the end," as she and Eugene sit alone for the last time on her real deathbed. The final words of Rosita and Eugene, who made their television debut together in The Walking Dead Season 4, solidify their unshakable friendship. Eugene was the one Rosita wanted by her side as death neared more than even her ex-lover Gabriel. In the episode's climax, The Walking Dead jumps forward a year following Pamela Milton's arrest and the Commonwealth estate fireball. The new governor of the Commonwealth is Ezekiel. This not only resolves Carrie Payton's stirring speech prior to the decisive fight in The Walking Dead series finale, but it also completes Ezekiel's character journey after he declined to assume leadership after the fall of the kingdom. Ezekiel's right-hand man is the now Lieutenant Mercer, and Carol performs the duties of Director of Operations in the style of Lance Hornsby. Despite the fact that Eugene was seen rescuing children from the Commonwealth Children's Home, this child appears to be his biological daughter. Eugene and Max are still a sweet couple, and they have a daughter named Rosie, after Rosita, of course. While many couples still share their love, including Lydia and Elijah, Mercer and Princess, and Yumiko and Magna, one long-teased union has tragically not materialized. In their final interaction on The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon and Connie display a playful and cordial bond, but no sign of a romantic union. How's the frontier? By Connie implies that Daryl's nomadic lifestyle and refusal to establish roots in one place are to blame for the lack of romance. All three of Aaron, Jerry, and Gabriel live in Alexandria. After Rosita's passing, Gabriel assumed custody of Coco. Inferred from Negan's gift to Judith is that he, Annie, and their infant also reside in Hilltop, or are at the very least close enough to bring presents. The compass itself is a reference to Season 9 of The Walking Dead, when Negan took Judith's compass during his jailbreak and subsequently offered to give it back. Judith gave Negan permission to keep it since she thought he might need help getting about. Negan's decision to finally hand the compass back shows that he has chosen his new course. Although Oceanside State is mostly ignored by The Walking Dead season conclusion, Maggie is the head of a reconstructed hilltop colony that, like Alexandria, has made considerable advancements in construction throughout the time jump. The only mention of the Sandy community comes from Eugene, who is eager for Coco to go swimming there, even though Luke and Jules previously reported that it had been attacked by the Commonwealth. This sentence might indicate that Oceanside is still occupied after The Walking Dead ends. Following months of fervent speculation, Danai Gurira and Andrew Lincoln reprised their roles as Rick Grimes and Michonne, respectively, in the AMC television series finale of The Walking Dead. Not only do their individual scenes occur in distinct places, but they also do so at entirely different times. Between Rick's departure from The Walking Dead in Season 9 and Michonne's own departure in Season 10, Rick's scene occurs. Rick Grimes is unmistakably a captive of the CRM, the Civic Republic military, as he is carrying few supplies and wearing a jacket from the Civic Republic. After The Walking Dead Season 9's bridge explosion, it appears that the helicopter flying group spared Rick's life, but he is now frantically attempting to flee from their captivity. That in itself is puzzling, considering that the CRM has typically shot runaways in The Walking Dead, World Beyond and Fear the Walking Dead. Both Jadis in The Walking Dead, World Beyond Season 2 and the recognizable tone of the distant loudspeaker voice in The Walking Dead series finale imply that the CRM must believe Rick is helpful enough to justify keeping him alive for reasons that are still unknown. Rick threw the iPhone and boots onto the ship just before he was captured, probably in the vain hope that his friends would find them. Michonne found them in Season 10 of The Walking Dead. The goods Rick left behind must have eventually made their way to Virgil's Island, where Michonne did discover them. Since Rick's aborted CRM escape, many years may have passed in the timeline of AMC's The Walking Dead, and anything may have occurred to him in that time. Thankfully, Rick's smirk indicates that the CRM will feel rather foolish when they realize who they are messing with. Michonne's homecoming in The Walking Dead series finale occurs far later in the timeline than Rick's and most likely coincides with the conclusion of season 11. Michonne, who is now wearing unique armor and is isolated from the friends she met in The Walking Dead season 10, is still looking for her missing husband. The direction of Rick and Michonne's The Walking Dead spin-off series is set by these parallel cameos. While Michonne has become an even more resilient warrior than before, Rick Grimes is either still being held captive by the CRM or is on the run. The focus of their new story will probably be on how the two reconcile and how the CRM affects Alexandria, Hilltop, and the Commonwealth.